Welcome back, everyone. Today is the first day where we're going to start looking at playing the game itself. In the first lectures, we talked just about setting everything up. Then in the last three, we talked about runs and sets and scoring and how points work and how you can actually win the game. But today, we're actually going to start kind of going through the game from start to finish, from dealing out to finishing the game. So, lesson six deals with dealing. Let's begin. Okay, so dealing is performed clockwise, starting with the person to the immediate left of the dealer. So if you're the dealer, the person clockwise from you is the person you'd start with, and that happens to be the person immediately to your left. Who is the dealer? That's the first question you should ask. Well, feel free to pick that person however you like. It could be whoever's the oldest, whoever's the youngest, whoever is the most experienced player, whoever is the least experienced player, whoever has watched these videos the most, whatever you decide. If you're stuck and everyone can come to some sort of agreement, just choose the player who's been playing Bukharo the longest to be the dealer. It's a nice starting point. Okay, now with dealing, a total of 13 cards are dealt to each player, as well as one additional set of 13 cards for what we call the Bukharo. Now, the game is called Bukharo, and it's named after this set of 13 cards. So I'm going to try and call that the Bukharo so you don't get it confused with Bukharo the game. But I apologize if there's a little bit of confusion. It'll hopefully get more clear as we move along with the lessons and with the different examples that I show on the card interface. Okay, so cards are first dealt clockwise to each player. So we go from the dealer deals out to the first player, the next player, and so on and so forth. And then at the very end, a card is dealt to the Bukharo hand. Not for Bukharo, to the Bukharo. So it's the set of cards again. Okay, now, once dealing is completed, so after all the players have 13 cards and the Bukharo hand has 13 cards, we flip over the top card on the remaining cards on the deck, and we place it in the discard pile. And this is the first discarded card in the discard pile. If that card happens to be a 2, then we actually place it back in the deck, we reshuffle the deck, and we flip over a new top card. We do not want this card to be a joker, so we'll keep repeating this process until the top card is not a joker. Okay? Once that's done, the game starts. And the starting player is the first player that was dealt a card. So again, the player immediately to the left of the dealer. Okay? Now, you have every player has a set of cards and the Bukharo hand has a set of cards. We want to put that Bukharo hand away for the time being. It'll come back into the game later, but the reason I like to put it away is because a lot of times people forget that it's there and they might start grabbing cards from it, or they'll put it back on the deck thinking that it's some extra cards that were laid around, and you just lose it. It's just human error. It's something I've done, made that mistake a bunch of times. So I'm just saying put it in a safe place until later in the game, and then you can pick it up, but you won't need it for the time being. Okay, so that's all the rules that we have for today, but let's give a visual representation in the card interface so you actually know what I'm talking about. So here is our card interface. We're going to put this example with 4 players like we mentioned before. And so we have player 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we also have a separate section for the Bukharo hand, just for this particular lesson. Okay, now we have a deck in the middle, and then next to the deck is a discard pile. So dealing will start for the person immediately from the left of the dealer, who happens to be player 4, which is our most experienced person, and it's going to go clockwise to everyone and then out to the Bukharo. Now I'm going to speed it up a little, and I'm going to jump right to the very end, and you can see that the last card was dealt to the Bukharo, and then the top card from the deck went to the discard pile, and we flipped it. Awesome. It's not a joker, so we can keep that card. Additionally, you can see that player 1 is now highlighted in blue. The game has begun. Player 1 happens to be the player that was dealt the first card, so player 1 is going to begin their turn in the next lesson. Okay, that's everything. Again, if you have questions, feel free to send me an email, send me a message. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you again for watching. If you're interested in playing the game, we have the app on the App Store. Feel free to download it. The QR code is here. I'll put the actual link in the notes. Same thing, if my lectures have gotten too long and boring for you, the book is available on Amazon. Feel free to download that as well, ebook or paper copy, whichever you prefer. If you got any other questions or comments, you can again leave it in the comment section on YouTube, or you can visit the page playbukharo.com and leave me a comment there. Thank you again for watching. I will start with, I'll start with the phases of a player's turn in the next lesson. There's 3 phases, and I'll start with the first one, which is picking up a card. All right, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.